Hello, I'm Kraven here, and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the upcoming early access Winter Survival. When I do a first impressions, I like talking about the game and my experience and give a wish list at the end. At its core, it's an open world survival exploration / hunting game. It's heavily reliant on stealth, as not only will the cold be out to get you, but predators as well. You play as Danny, a man struggling with his mental health in the wilderness of a frigid Washington state park. Being as I've spent the last couple of years in Montana, I can completely attest that being outside in this kind of weather sucks. And the reason I'm doing a first impressions and not a review is full disclosure, because I really like this game. But there's a lot of work and quality of life improvements that Winter Survival desperately needs. I'll start with the main menus and what made me make the decision of showing mercy. There are 3 game modes: Story, Endless, and Cold Wave. I only dove into Story and Endless as Cold Wave is coming soon. There are 2 difficulty settings: Explorer, which is easy, and Survivalist, which is hard. Story mode isn't complete. Only prologue and first chapter are available, and it takes you through how Danny and his friends got there, and the dangers that presented your party. Without giving too much away, Danny probably needs to seek some sort of help. Where I think Winter Survival has the most potential, however, is on its Endless mode. So you get taken to a menu where you can choose your story, how you got where you are, and then spawn with good or less than desirable conditions. I dipped my feet into 2 different scenarios, and both times made me feel like I was getting a completely different adventure, so A+ for that. In all scenarios, you're tasked with building shelter for yourself while leveling up. At first, I didn't really take notice of the leveling system, as stuff would just automatically unlock after leveling up. But once I visited the adaptions menu, I saw what skills and builds I actually got. The building mechanic needs work in my opinion, as everything is just really hard to make. It'll have you running around in circles, if you plan on using a hammer to deconstruct buildings nearby, which you can, it has about 10 uses before you have to build another one. And now materials are plentiful, and they respawn all the time, but sometimes I had trouble looking for certain things like big branches on the floor, so I was thankful for X-ray vision. I normally don't like it in games, but with the struggling mental health and all that, I thought I could give it a pass. So to touch on that, there's a sanity system that makes your survival much harder the more you play it. You'll get debuff with things like seeing animals that aren't there, getting blurry vision, among other ailments or symptoms as they call it. And as far as I see, there isn't a way to cure any of the ailments, but you can slow the deterioration of your mind by taking care of yourself. Which includes staying hydrated, staying fed, not being too cold, and having enough rest. Hunting in-game can be real fun, but real frustrating as well. And as long as you can track deer or rabbits, a certain movement, you can kind of figure where to place your snare traps and then poke them with your spears. Wolves, boars, and bears, on the other hand, are completely different beasts, no pun intended. But you need to be on the defensive with a spear, and if you're on easy mode, just holding the spear up will make your guy auto-impale while in hard, you must time it just right and let go to poke him. I had a pretty bad encounter where I couldn't equip my spear or pull up the inventory or do much of anything but run, and that really is going to ruin my save, as my mental health went down the drain hard for that interaction. I mean, I had an axe in my inventory, I had a hammer. I thought maybe I can hit them with this, but no, it's just a spear. So I ran as fast as I could, and I outran the wolf actually. Went back to my shelter and realized, dang, I gotta build a different kind of fire. I had already built a fire, but the only way to destroy it was to destroy the foundation that I built the fire on. But when I did that, the 2 sides, walls, and roofing had to be rebuilt, of course, and I didn't get any material from that. So I had to gather the material that I had spent the last maybe hour gaining and just redo that again, which was pretty annoying. And so far, it sounds like I'm just constantly berating the game, but it really is beautiful, though. It's fun, it's scary at times, it's a blend of, it's a great game waiting to be found in there. And opening up my window as I play this with minimal clothing, it's 2 degrees and snowing currently where I live, really immersed me into Winter Survival, and the mechanics just seem so cool. My wish list for Winter Survival: completely changed the fighting mechanic. I couldn't make a spear, had to find one, and even when I tried using it, I couldn't. Not being able to use my axe or other weapons to attack made me lose my immersion. Tweaks to the sanity system on Endless mode. Maybe having a tea can help soothe Danny's mind, or beating a wolf can give a buff that can restore one of the 6 symptoms for a day or 2. Stuff should cost maybe half of what it does to craft. I keep having to go back and forth just to look branches everywhere. It was cute at first, but I just want to build, man. At least just in easy mode. More stuff to craft at lower levels. While food is relatively available, even on easy the meter would run down fast, and instead of eating berry after berry after berry, maybe cooking like 10 berries of them for some roasted berries would be a lot helpful. Save files need to be more organized. I had 3 different saves going on and I didn't know what was what. Then it kept warning me, if you load this save, you're going to lose your autosave. I'm like, what? I didn't know which one was what. And finally, multiplayer mode. While it does defeat the purpose of the sanity system, I think it would be an awesome addition just to survive in the wilderness with your friend. After a few hours in the game, I found it's a very unforgiving experience. A hauntingly beautiful game. The kind of terror that you find in everyday life if you live near mountains. I went into the game thinking it's going to be a survival like every other, and was pleasantly surprised that it had way more depth than I gave it. I'm just excited for what's to come. The roadmap will be on the screen right now. Pause it if you want. And personally, I would just wait a couple more updates before picking this up. But if this is your type of game, if this is completely up your alley, a lot of fun can be had, especially if you let yourself get immersed. La, la, la.